0 to 100. I've seen people's life go from totally frustrated with the economy, with the country, and with their lives in general, to living way above the everyday problem of the common man, which is money. Victoria Okoroji and the Value Corp team will teach you how to offer value in exchange for money at any level or sphere of your life. So if you're working class, an undergraduate, or even a secondary school student, you're more than eligible. If you're broke, in a tight spot, frustrated at the inability of the country to provide for their youths, or totally want to give up on life, then we have the solution for you. And you can simply join us on this journey by logging on to www.valuecorpglobal.com to get started.
We never knew things like crypto jobs. It was ValueCorp that introduced us to crypto jobs. ValueCorp pushed me personally as a person beyond everything else. ValueCorp pushed me to getting to learn more and being enthusiastic about making money with my hands. It's normal for every Nigerian youth to do the 9 to 5 job, but with ValueCorp, it helps you see more, to see that there is more to the regular things. The word is ValueCorp helps you to see the extraordinary. It helps you to see beyond now. It helps you to see far. That's what ValueCorp does. And it changed my life as a person. I got to know, fine, there is something I can do with my phone to give me more money, to give me my space as a person. And it was awesome working from my house, right there on my bed. And I still make more than the regular Nigerian youth.
Hello, my name is Grace Chimoya and I'm one of the content creators of ValueCorp. And since I met Victoria in Platform of Grace, that's been a wowing experience. That's been beautiful. That's been from better to better, and you want to experience this, you really do. Okay, so ValueCorp is all about using what you know to make money. We impact you and equip you with necessary knowledge to transfer the knowledge that you know to make money. So in ValueCorp, we are here for your own good, to better you all round.
Hello everyone, my name is Ekeme Zenjo and I would like to tell you about ValueCorp Global. I first heard about the brand ValueCorp from a friend, and then I got to meet the CEO in church, and that was my first ever contact with the blockchain and the crypto space. And she made things a lot easier. I hear people saying they're trying to learn crypto and all that, but it's hard, it's difficult. I never had the experience. She made it so easy to go from one level, from beginner to intermediate expert in the crypto space. About the ValueCorp classes, I love the fact that the classes are very practical. Like, she tells you what you experience in the real life, and one thing about the classes is that they answer questions and they solve issues. There is almost always a class for any problem I encounter in the space. Like when I get to if there's an issue or something I'm trying to solve, there is almost always a ValueCorp class answering that particular question or trying to get that particular solution fixed. Her crypto job classes are always so educational. Like, one thing I've learned about the ValueCorp Global is that her classes make you sound like an expert. Like sometimes when I'm in a job interview, sometimes I get to sound like an expert, or simply because of the things I learned from the classes. So her classes take you from one step in the crypto space to another, and through those classes I've been able to land a couple of jobs. Those classes helped me build my LinkedIn profile, my CV, and then a lot of other things. Those classes, and then the classes also, they don't just help you land the job, they help you while you are in the job. So the classes are always very educational, and I would recommend ValueCorp Global to everyone. Whether you're a beginner or you're an expert in the crypto space, there is always something to learn with ValueCorp Global. Thank you.
So, working with Victoria and working at ValueCorp, it has given me the opportunity not just to learn and to improve in my skills, it has also given me the opportunity to advance in my career, to network with the right type of people. So what I can say is that there are still lots of opportunities at ValueCorp for you to learn, not just to learn, but to also intern with us and get the necessary experience you need. We will help you discover your skills. Do you have a skill? Come, we will help you hone it. All I can say at this point is that I am a proud ValueCorpian.
Join us now www.valuecopglobal.com.
Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, just kindly indicate that you can hear me. Good evening. Happy to have you here this evening for our session, our live session called Getting Jobs in the Web3 Space. So I want to see us. If you're live right now, just leave a comment. Leave a comment. Depending on where you are joining us from, whether Nigeria or whichever country, and then whether from Facebook or YouTube. So whichever place you're joining us from. All right, so this is an opportunity for us to learn. There's several things we're going to be learning this evening. Going to be learning about the Web3 job space. This is an opportunity to introduce complete newbies, or if you don't have a lot of information about what Web3 jobs are. This our series we're going to be holding every week is going to show you what these jobs are and what are the current trends in the market. What are the things that will set you up for success in this space? So I'm just going to okay, thank you, Ezebilo. Thank you for joining right now. So this is a free session for us. Of course, I have the premium session for premium community members, but it's a free session for all. So make sure you grab as much as a lot of information you want to grab this evening, and make sure you put them to use and put them to good use and act on them. So this evening we're going to be looking at getting Web3 jobs. So what exactly are Web3 jobs? Now, everybody wants to get a job every single day. Just in case if you stop hearing me, just make sure you indicate that you can hear me or something. You have challenges hearing what I'm saying. So every single day we have people who actually are looking out for opportunities, who are looking out for jobs, who are looking out for a way to increase the standard of their living. And trust me, it's not like the economy of the world is like, making it easier or even getting better. But then, even still in this economy, right, there are people who are still doing well. There are still people who are still accessing opportunities. So how are they doing it? How are these persons actually doing it? This is the reason why I built ValleyCorp, still building ValleyCorp Global, to position you to access these opportunities that are available in emerging technologies. And what are the emerging technologies? Web3 and AI. These two are typical example of the emerging technologies. And for every time there's an emerging technology, it presents massive opportunities, massive career opportunities, massive work opportunities for anyone who positions themselves for them. Let's take, for example, the Web3 space now. Now, what exactly is the Web3 space? People, I know, just use the comment section and just tell me if you've heard the word Web3. Have you heard the word Web3 before? When you hear Web3, what is it? What bell rang in your head? Like what did it tell you, or what did you perceive? Were you curious enough to browse about it to find out exactly what this Web3 is exactly? So, but then while you are leaving the comment section, let me give you an insight into what Web3 is. Okay, thank you, Ezebilo. Let me give you an insight into what Web3 is. Web3 is the third generation of the internet. Now, many people must have been hearing Web3. Right here in Africa, right here in Nigeria, before we started hearing about Web3, we were hearing about crypto. We were hearing about blockchain, right? So many persons are falling victims of scams, just disguised as crypto, disguised as blockchain. Now, these are part of things I'm going to debunk in this live session I'll be holding live sessions weekly, so that I can open your eyes to the opportunities that are very prevalent right now and the emerging opportunities in this tech. So now, before I get to like the definition of Web3, I like to go back to how it all like started. I like to build a journey, create a journey for you. So in 2016, right, we had MMM. MMM Ponzi scheme was like, it thrived in Nigeria, thrived, uh, it thrived in Nigeria, and I don't know whether it extended to other African countries, but so many persons, benefited from that MMM, and then so many people lost a lot of money. And then at some point in that Ponzi scheme, they introduced Bitcoin, and that was like the first encounter so many people had with crypto, and it really framed their mindset about what crypto is and what the blockchain is. But the truth is, whatever um sorry about that, trying to get some people to join us on live from our community. Make sure they're not having any form of challenges. Okay, so the the MMM crypto was the first encounter people had with cryptocurrency, and it framed their mindset. But trust me, whatever experience you had with MMM have nothing to do with the true value that um, that crypto has to offer to anyone. And it was from that, when I encountered several persons in 2019, and just everybody's story was just the same thing. People thought it was a Ponzi scheme. People thought it was like get rich quick scheme and all of those things. And I had to set out like, I need to correct this narrative, because that's not what it is. So I like to take people back to the journey that brought crypto here, journey that brought Bitcoin here, and the journey that brought the blockchain to our midst. And now I'm also going to introduce you where careers, getting jobs fit into all of these things. So Web3 now is a third generation of internet that is built on the blockchain. Now, which means if we have Web3, it means that we have Web1. It means that we have Web1, right? So what exactly was Web1? What was Web2? In fact, right now, we are currently using Web2 platforms to have this event. That's a typical example of what Web2 is. And then we're now going to get into Web3. So before I go further, do not be one of those people who shy away from tech just because they don't understand it. One typical example I always use for people is the things that you know how to do today. You learned them somehow. So shying away from a tech because you don't understand it, it's like saying you want to stay, because how would I put it? Our children are going to see Web2 like it's like a part of Web2. Same way we treat some computers that we see, all those like old-fashioned computers. The way we react to them, and then we'll be like, oh, this is old. This is very, very, very old. Like feel like it's coming from like the old ages, right? That's the same way our children are going to react to some of the things that we are using today. We think we're actually like using like trending tech. Wait till you give this tech that we have right now 20 years from now. You see they'll be outdated. So don't be among those people who just simply shy away from technology just because you don't understand it yet. I know in Nigeria and Africa we have a way of not reading manuals, but please, please, that's why this class is going to really help you get acquainted with all of these things, and then see how you're going to use them to get opportunities. So Web 1, what was Web 1? Web 1 was simply like, how you interact with your dictionary, like just simply like plain text web. When you open a web page, it's just like you're opening like I hope you guys can still hear me. If you can still hear me, just indicate in the comment section that you can still hear me, so that I know you're following. So Web 1 was just like, plain page, no interaction and all of that. That was like way before we had social media. Social media platforms launched in Web 2, where we now started having interactive pages. Web 1 was not interactive. That means there was no button for you to click. There was no button for you to share to anywhere. There was no place for you to comment. There was no surface for. Okay, am I too loud? Don't say I'm loud. Am I too loud? I just want to believe that I'm very clear, right? You can really hear me. So there was no place for you to interact, right? Then we now have Web 2. Web 2 started with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of these are like typical examples of Web 2. So when you hear Web 1, Web 2, this should come to your mind. We are currently in Web 2, but we are also evolving into the Web 3 space, Web 3 space. And possibly Web 2 and Web 3 will coexist because even till date, there's so many persons that still don't all right, thank you, Philip. Thank you, Philip. There's so many persons who can't relate, who can't very much relate with Web 2, even though, like, even if you mention Facebook, they still don't understand how to use it. So it's totally fine. Everybody wants to like completely evolve. But as a young person, you owe it to yourself to maximize the solid, legit opportunities that come your way, especially with emerging technologies. So now, what is now Web 3? Web 3 is the version of this internet that's been evolving that is built on a decentralized network called the blockchain. The blockchain is a type of technology, right? That is backing decentralization. Now, the concept of decentralization started becoming a popular thing with the inception of Bitcoin. What do I mean? People didn't really know anything like blockchain, like really existed. Like it's something, like it's a term until Bitcoin came in. Because Bitcoin was the first digital currency that was built on the blockchain technology. So what was the idea behind Bitcoin? What is the idea behind this blockchain technology? Excuse me. The idea behind Bitcoin was to give you a form of money that is not controlled, that is global. Because the kind of money we have right now, I mean, your local currencies, your fiat currencies, like your naira, your CDs, your pounds, your euros, your dollar, and all of those things, they are limited to the country that issues them and use them. So I don't know if any of you were like me when I started my freelance journey way back in 2016 and 2017, how it was a hassle, it was a struggle to actually get paid for your services just because you're in Nigeria. We couldn't receive payments from other countries. So as much as we were in the age of globalization, whereby we were interconnected through like social media, the internet, and all of those things, payments still had a lot of barriers. Cross-border payment was a major problem that people started coming out to fix, like fintech companies started coming out to fix, and then blockchain came out with Bitcoin, meaning that even if I'm in any part of the world, I don't even need to interface or go through the existing platforms to actually send somebody money, because all I have to do is just to send funds from my wallet to another person's wallet, just like how it was before, at the beginning of money, like the evolution of money, when we had trade by barter, whereby you exchange the value you have for the value the person wants to give you. Back then, that was like how money started from trade by barter and evolved all the way to crypto. So crypto should not be something you shy away from too, because one thing that affects people when it comes to crypto is the fact that they don't have sufficient knowledge to decide whether something is legit or scam. Knowledge is the difference. If you have the right information, that is the difference between whether what you're looking at is legit or it is scam. Now, before I go further, let me point out something. Before you run away from tech, just because people have already talked down on it, remember, especially crypto now, remember that the human factor will always mishandle anything. Because even before we started having paper currencies, way back when there was cowries, there was gold. Gold was like a popular form of money. We had silver. Way back when we had all those things, remember that people still did scam at that time. People still, even right now, people still run all manner of stuff with even the paper currency you have now. So it's not because of crypto in quotes that makes it a scam. It's actually because of the human factor that tends to take advantage of anything. So don't write off tech just because somebody had a bad experience. The bad experience because of a human factor the person decided to take advantage of something in order to scam another person. So that being said, now we in this tech now, so when you're starting your journey in getting a job in this space, the first thing you should always look out for is to understand these terminologies. I'm going to work on a video of terms that I have some one that I made like several years ago on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to make a fresh one on Web3 terms. You have to start understanding, expose yourself to these terminologies so that it forms your background, the background knowledge that you need to start accessing these opportunities in the Web3 space. Now, are there jobs? There are jobs. But the truth is that so many persons are not ready for them. It's not even necessarily a qualification problem right now. It's just necessarily just because people just want to be served. You just want to just be served like that. But when you come into a space, when you're looking for opportunities, the first question you should always ask is, what should I do? What do I need to learn in order to access this? Do you get? So it's not just about give me job, give me job, give me job, give me job. You should ask, what exactly should I learn? What value should I deliver in order to do this, right? So now we've established some terminologies. I hope you guys are still with me, right? We've established some terms for some explaining Web3, Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. So what exactly is crypto? What exactly is blockchain? Now, blockchain is a decentralized technology, like I mentioned earlier. Why decentralized? We're trying to remove third parties. Because one of the reasons why sending money from one place to the other is expensive is because of too many third parties. There are too many people in between. So everybody's trying to get their own cut of the fees in between. But with blockchain, is there's a chance for person to person, P2P transactions, and then there is no central authority. In fact, it means that everybody's opinion would count. Now, this whole idea behind blockchain is a very broad topic, which is why we are launching what I call the Web3 Value Demi. Just keep tabs on our handles, you will see it. Web3 Value Demi. What's the idea behind Web3 Value Demi? We want to take out time. We want to take 90 days to break down the Web3, the basics terminologies, to bring different speakers on live sessions like this, to teach you different terminologies in this space. Because to access opportunities available in this space, you need to at least know the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals? What are the basics? So we want to take care of this. And also, we're also introducing the developer part of Valleycorp, which is Valleycorp Dev Africa. So you're going to be seeing these announcements, coming out on our handles between now and the next 2 months. So the idea is, if you have a struggle understanding these terminologies, this series of classes will break the terminologies down and use everyday experiences, everyday examples to explain them. I hope you guys can still hear me. So because these live sessions like this is really too short to explain all the terms and help you to get catch up on them, so you don't get left behind in tech or in the Web3 space. You don't get left behind. So now, what kind of jobs are available in the Web3 space? Literally any kind of digital job. Literally any kind of digital job. We have 2 kinds of Web3 jobs that are available in the Web3 space. We have the tech and the non-tech roles. We have the tech and non-tech roles. So I want to check that you guys are still with me. Just indicate by using the comment section. Just indicates I know you're still with me. And don't hesitate. This is an opportunity for you to also ask me questions. Ask me any form of questions, and I will answer you. I will answer you on this live session. So maximize this opportunity to ask your questions. So, okay, you're still with me. All right. Okay, thank you, Philip. So, we have the tech and the non-tech. And what is the, um in order not to even talk down, okay, thank you, Dunayo. In order not to talk down on the existing jobs that are available, every time you'll find out that the standard of living is increasing day by day. Like, I mean, as a standard of living, sorry, the cost of living is increasing day by day. And sometimes the things they're doing now might not be able to power the amount of expenses that are coming. Because trust me, those expenses are not going away. They're not going away. So that means you have to increase your capacity. The day my pastor thought about this increasing capacity, it made a whole lot of sense to me, because um the older you become, like as you increase in age, as you get older, you're going to things don't how will I put it now? Let's say things don't really get easier. Responsibilities increase. That means you have to increase your capacity, your financial capacity, your mental capacity. You have to increase what you can do. That means you have to get better all the time. That this is not to put pressure on you. This is a call for you to always ask yourself, this is what is happening now. How do I increase myself to be relevant, to offer that value? Because ever since this whole Web3 thing, jobs, Web3 system came out, that means new forms of jobs and opportunities have come out too, even AI too. That means some jobs can have become obsolete. It's like somebody using, that typewriter, that very old typewriter in this modern age when we have touch screens. So you have to ask yourself, how do I become relevant? So what kind of jobs are available for in the Web3? We have the tech and non-tech. Now, under tech, obviously, is coding, web development, talking about web development. But this time around, web development in tech, sorry, in Web3. That means the programming language is different from what you're used to. But then if you're someone who's already in tech, in Web2, that you're already used to JavaScript, you're already used to CSS, you're already used to all those programming languages, then transitioning to Web3 wouldn't be so tough on you, because you're already in the tech space. So you just need to transfer your available skills, and then you learn the programming language of Web3, which includes Solidity. We have Solidity. Of course, we still have use JavaScript. You still learn JavaScript in Web3 too. But you now learn how can you use those languages to create products in the Web3 space. We have Rust. We have React. These are different programming language. We even have Cairo. And newer programming languages are coming out. So you ask yourself, if you're already in the tech side where you are coding, then if you're not in the tech side already yet, but you're interested in evolving or transferring or transitioning into Web3, there's still room for you. There are lots of communities that I can even connect you to. You can start learning. That's why we are kickstarting the tech, the developer arm of Valley Corp, so that you can be exposed to the fundamentals that you need to start your tech developer career in Web3. So now, what of people that are in non-tech? Is there a place for writers? Is there a place for artists, designers, graphic designers? Is there a place for marketers? Is there a place for brand managers? Is there a place for social media managers? Is there a place for all these other skills that already exist in Web2? Now, if you are very good with social media management, like for example, you're already managing communities, social media handles for brands in Web2, there's a place for you. I tell people, if not for anything, the Web3 space pays well. It pays well. When you do a good job, you get paid well, right? And we have this season in the Web3 space called the bull run. Whenever there is bull run is coming, it increases opportunities that you can access, which is why we are kickstarting all this series, so that you can maximize these opportunities. We are in Africa, right? We have a lot of potential within us. Everything we commit to, we do it well. as long as we commit to them. So I'm saying, do not miss the coming bull run, especially because it's going to influence every area, including the job areas. But this time around, it's not just going to be for just because you said so. It's going to be a matter of proof of work. So I'm going to drop some tips in this live session, and next week we're going to look at all your other things, and then you can ask the questions, what are challenges you're facing and stuff. So I'm going to share some tips very soon about accessing these opportunities. But then the deep dives, the really, really, really deep dives, I will leave it for my premium communities, those that paid for mentorship, paid for coaching sessions with me. That one is for them. We have our website where you can access our paid courses and then our also premium live sessions. But regardless, we have, so if you have already existing skills in Web2, you can write, you can tell stories, you can design, do graphic design, right? You can name it, all the digital skills that you learned. If you've already learned from Google Africa, was that Google digital, Google has this whole truckload of courses that positions you for anything. Even as the world was evolving into AI, Google already released some courses on machine learning and data, and all of those things. So you can even check out Google, their skill shop. Check out Google skill shop, and you see tons of courses to get you started. But now, learning, I've seen people that do a lot of learning, but they don't take actions. This brings me to my next point. Now that you know that whatever skills you have now, if you're a very good communicator, if you're a very good relationship person, you know how to bring people together. What I mean by, I'm not talking about romantic relationship. I mean, we know how to, let's say, some people are very good communicators. Some people know how to create partnerships, make people collaborate. They know how to bring one decision maker, another decision maker, and bring them together to establish a solid relationships. Because soft skills are also things that thrive in this space. If you are what are soft skills? Like, soft skills are effective. When you say effective communication, this is where it comes into place. And then, there's another question people ask: can I do these things from my phone? Do I need a laptop to do these things? So now the tech side, the non-tech side, that is the side of Web3 that doesn't require coding. You can start with your phone. But no, I like to not place limitations, because sometimes when people hear some things, they automatically limit themselves in their head. They automatically limit themselves there because they say, this is not for me, because I don't have a laptop. No, don't do that. If I had done that, I would have made some progress I made in my life, really. I like to ask myself, okay, if they said this is not possible at this point, how else can I achieve this at the level with what I have right now? And then so I can get to that place that I intend to be. So whenever you hear what you can do or what other people are already doing, don't remove yourself from the equation just because you looked around you and said, I don't have a phone, no, I don't have laptop, I don't have this one. So you now automatically count yourself out. Do not do that. Instead, look around you. It's possible you have somebody that have a smartphone. It's possible you have somebody that have a laptop. It's possible that there's a library close to you where you can access laptops. I remember when I didn't have a smartphone, so I was going to cyber. I went to cyber to access the internet. Yes, I was going to cyber to access the internet, so I could browse, I could work on some stuff. All I'm saying is that your options are never limited as you think. So never count yourself out from opportunities because you feel or you think you don't have the capacity at the time. There's always a place to start from. And these opportunities are for you. Me, right now, I'm all about supercharging Africans to position them for global opportunities. There are opportunities in the global space, but somehow, majority of Africans are not accessing them because we already mentally counted ourselves out of it. Just because we think we don't have the capacity. But we really have smart and intelligent people in this continent. So that takes me back to so the first thing you need in getting into Web3 space is to, first of all, get acquainted with get acquainted with the definition of Web3. And in that definition, get acquainted to the terms mentioned in Web3, because in that definition, you will see blockchain, you will see decentralization, you will see some technologies. When you see terminologies, do not run away from them. When you see terms, write them down and find out exactly what those terms mean. That's why we have a community called Valicop. Excuse me. Because I can easily make a video for you relating it to your real life experiences, so you understand what exactly what these terminologies are. So that means I'm already like owing you the video right now just by mentioning this. Right? So the first thing to do is to learn. Now, the world of jobs, the Web3 jobs, is no longer like how it used to be, when you just simply appear and then tada, you have a job. No. The world of Web3 right now is a world of proof of work. So people be like, oh, how do I get a job? Now, if you're struggling to get a physical job, trust me, there are tons of opportunities in the digital space. I'm not, talking about physical jobs. Those ones have their place. I'm saying, if you're struggling to access the physical ones, there are more opportunities in the digital space. And if you're not accessing them, then there's something you still probably need to work on, touch upon, and all of that. Things are never opportunities are never lacking like they look like. It's possible that there's a knowledge you've not accessed yet, or maybe you have not become dogged enough yet. Because don't stop until you win. I'm serious. Don't stop until you win. Your question should always be, okay, what can I do next? What can I fix next? Right? There's no plug and play. There's hardly a plug and play formula for all of these things. That's why we have our 45-day job challenge, whereby we expose you to over 30 ways you can go about getting a job. I don't know. We've had some persons who have gone through it, right? And we keep updating them with tips that will help you get these jobs. So there's no one way to access these things, but we'll keep exposing you to as many channels, as many ways as possible. So next thing you do after you figured out, okay, this is what it means, right? So what does it mean for you as a person? Everybody wants to make money. But if you've not, next thing you need to change in your head is, to make money, you must give value. There's no other two way about it, especially in this time and age. Nobody's dashing money anywhere. You must be somewhere offering value. And in this time and age, in this time of Web 2, of social media, of globalization, you must be seen to be shown favor. If you're just in your room pressing your phone and liking every celebrity post, and you're not talking about what you do, nobody's going to know that you know how to do that thing. So it's time to leverage what's available, because I see a lot of persons who don't even have a social media presence that can give them an opportunity. You don't do that in this time and age. Of course, there are people who don't have social media presence, but they have jobs. But there's something that they are doing also that you've not even considered. And that thing is their network. They probably know somebody. They built a strong network of referral that can easily refer them to opportunities, even though they are not online. So you don't have social media, you don't have a strong network, you're not in a community, then you're literally limiting yourself from opportunities. Because one thing that's putting yourself on social media, like for example, if you're looking for job opportunities, you should have a LinkedIn handle, you should have a Twitter handle. That should be the next thing. And then you start talking about what you're doing, what you're working on those handles. Because I have a mentee, I met him like a couple of Saturdays ago and at an event, and he told me that his latest job he has right now, how did he get it? He was just constantly posting tips, guides, on his LinkedIn handle. And then they came to his inbox and said, I want to give you this job. Because he has been showing up consistently on social media, and then it happened. So if you're not consistent, if you're not dogged, if you've not found good enough reason for you to make money, you might actually give up along the line. you might give up along the line. So be as dogged as possible. Like personally, the highest I can be is tired. I'll just be tired. When I'm tired, I go and sleep. When I'm done sleeping, I wake up, I continue because anyway, let's let's continue. So next thing you should do is your personal branding. Personal branding is key these days. You see personal branding, you see community. Now there are several communities where there are opportunities in this space. In Web3 space, community is key. You cannot grow or access opportunities in silo. You cannot be in your DM taking out of now. Taking courses are not bad. Taking courses are not bad at all. But while you are taking courses, make sure you are in Web3 communities. Make sure you are participating. Make sure you are giving your unique take. Now we are in a space whereby I don't understand why anybody would be shy. Nobody's in your face, right? You're in your house with your phone. Nobody knows what your face looks like. Nobody knows what is going on around you. So let your voice come out. Air your opinion. So how do you air your opinion? You start consuming materials around your skill. This is where you now pick a skill. So how do you pick a skill? Go to we have job websites. I hope you're getting value from everything I'm sharing. I feel like I've said a lot of things in between time. This is a 1 hour session, so we have like 30 minutes. So just drop your questions if you have any, so that I can attend to them. If you're no question, that's fine also, right? You can also I'm available in my DM, and then any other question you have, they want to ask on the live session, Sha. So how do you identify the skills that you can do? Because I like to tell people to start from their strengths. Strengths or interests. What are your strengths? What are your interests? What are your strengths? What are your interests? Like for me now, I've always been interested in writing. Right? So that was the first thing I did. The first time when I left school in 2016, the first thing I did was to look out for writing opportunities. And I started telling everybody, oh, I write. So that was how, in fact, one of the ghostwriting opportunities I had in 2018 was because I was in a WhatsApp group, and then somebody asked, oh, can you no, not somebody asked, we were asked to introduce ourselves in the WhatsApp group. And I already learned that the power of your introductions, how powerful your introductions can be, can also determine how much people will be interested in what you're doing. So when you're in a community, don't just say, my name is Esther Smart, and just leave it at that. No. You are Esther Smart, okay, and so. When you say your name is just Esther Smart, it's not interesting. Nobody wants to ask further questions, right? So what helped me that day was we're asked to introduce ourselves in the group, and I introduced myself. I already had this crafted introduction. I crafted it and I kept it in my phone. I use my Google products a lot, Google Keep a lot. So I kept it in my phone. I copied it. I introduced myself, what I can do. It was about like 3, 4, 5 sentences, and I dropped it in a group, and instantly I got a DM to work on a book. So imagine if I had said my name is Victoria alone and left it at that. Nobody will know what I can do. Or nobody will know my capacities. Which is why you have Twitter, you have LinkedIn. Now, do not be intimidated. Now, I understand imposter syndrome. Trust me, I've faced it and I've conquered it. Imposter syndrome is where you feel like you're not good enough to air your voice out there. It's where you start feeling, oh my God, when you look at every other person making progress, if it makes your own look small. No. Every progress you make is progress, regardless of how far other people have gone. Take this from me, right? Every progress is your journey, is your story. It's your journey, is your story. Every progress you make is progress. And you should be proud of it. You should beat. Now, that's why I made a post, I think it was on Monday, and I talked about this word called best. Sometimes when we say best this, best graduating students, best whatever, you should be good at what you do. You should try to be. But when it comes to comparing yourself with others or being competitive, right? It sort of places for some people it pushes them forward. For some people it limits them. So instead of paying attention to who is better than you or who is doing whatever it is better than you should pay attention to beating your previous milestone. That way, this is one of the ways for you to deal with imposter syndrome. When you start feeling that what you are doing right now is not good enough, other people are moving forward and you are still here. No, do not be like that. Do not feel like that. It's a feeling, and do not yield yourself to that feeling, because our feelings, we're in control of our feelings. However you feel, you can control how you respond to that feeling. So if that feeling, imposter syndrome, makes you shut your voice up, it means you will not be able to do a lot with yourself. That money you are looking for, you might not reach it, because sometimes it's been the ability to be bold enough to dare to break your milestones is what you just need. So what's even led me to all of this? So I'm here to encourage you to sometimes people don't, loud talk about what they do on social media and stuff because they feel it's not big enough. Every progress is progress for you. It's about you. It's not about any other person else. All right. So I hope this is encouraging you to wake up tomorrow morning and go to your LinkedIn handle and go to your Twitter handle and talk about that one win you had. Did you remember that time that you did something and somebody complimented you for that? Go to your handle tomorrow morning and write, I did this, I did that, and I was congratulated. It's going to tell people that you can do this. That's another thing you need in your job journey. People don't keep track of their successes. It's easy for you to remember what you didn't do well at. But remember to note down your successes, because that is what's going to attract even much more opportunities to you, especially Web3 jobs. When somebody tells you well done, take a screenshot and keep it. When somebody compliments you, record it and keep it. That is your portfolio. That is part of your portfolio. That is your testimonial. Because people, like I said, we're in days of social proof. Nobody's just going to come out and believe you because you said so. People are going to look at your social proof and say, okay, this person can do this thing. And trust me, you don't need a job experience. Like when I mean job experience is someone literally employing you for you to access these job opportunities. All you need to do is start building a portfolio. How do you build a portfolio? We are scared of because we are so money-minded in Nigeria. We're so money-minded in Nigeria. We don't even want to do free jobs. We don't want to do internship. We don't want to do mentorship, all those things. But these are the things that actually build up your portfolio, that lands you your mega gig. So what skills are you acquiring today? How do you even know that you know how to do that in your learning? Because learning is one step. Learning is one step in your journey towards making money. Another step is application. The only way you can tell somebody, and then some people are scared of application, that all they do is learn. Like if you check their drive, they have 20 certifications. 20 certifications, yet they've never applied that knowledge in anything. So how do you not know that you know what you know? Because the results you have, the results you can boast about is the knowledge you've applied. That is the result you can boast about. When you apply something you've learned, let's say, for example, now you learned how to do graphic design and you never designed a banner in your life. You never designed a logo. So how do you not tell somebody you know how to do graphic design? Just by watching those tutorials, just by attending classes is not enough. Okay, Salau, I'm going to explain that right after I'm about to say. I'll explain how to build a portfolio right now. So just by watching tutorials, or just by, let's say, for example, attending live sessions like this, it's not enough to tell you that you know that thing. It's the day you sit down and actually apply. Okay, they said I should do A, and I did A, but I'm supposed to get B. Why didn't I get B? Because it's those questions of why didn't I get B will now push you to not know that I let this thing know, but it's a bit like say I know learn and well low. Let me go and find out why I didn't get the B like they said I should get. Do you understand? So this is another thing that is also stopping people from accessing opportunities, because they know a lot in their head, but then translating it to physical results is where the challenge is now. Do not be that person stuck in getting a lot of certifications. Learning is good, but application is better, because it's an application that you find out what exactly the results look like. Are you getting the result? What is missing? And then you can easily ask the right questions. So building a portfolio, how do you build a portfolio? Now, first of all, you should ask yourself, what is my skill? What am I good at? What have I learned? So I don't know, Salah, maybe you can give me a skill. I can use an example. Anybody on the live session can give me a skill I can use as an example to explain what a building portfolio looks like. Just give me any skill so I can use. Now, whatever skill you have, in fact, I made a post recently on my brand handle, on my business handle, where I said making money is easy in 2023, and it's just like, you don't know what I'm going through. I'm going through a lot. Now, see what I mean. We're not saying that you can go through a process. We're not saying that you can go through a plug and play, it's exactly a plug and play, right? Okay, I'm going to use Odunayo. Okay, Odunayo, I'm going to use a writer, for example, as any other person, community manager. Just keep on dropping it, and I'll give examples of what a portfolio can look like in the Web3 space, how to build it. So, okay, let me just start with Odunayo said a writer. So as a writer now, before I get to that writer, I just remembered what I was trying to say before. For people that are asking, what can I even do? Before I start explaining these other ones, what can you do? Just Google top skills, top tech skills, top Web3 skills, top Web3 skills of 2023, top this. Browse it. Then next thing you should ask is, what are the roles and responsibilities of this particular skill? So you know whether these things are, if your head can carry it. Like someone like me now, I don't see myself. Not like there was a time in my life I was interested in coding, but that interest did not last long. I tried to stay on my lane. I stayed in my marketing, branding, writing area, communications. I just stayed in that area, right? So I just stayed in my area. So, but let's say the idea of looking at the roles and responsibilities of these skills, like when you browse top relevant, top in demand, top relevant skills in Web3 skills of 2023, 2024, you browse those things. You now say, okay, you now check them out and find out. So that's the next thing you now do. You now find out, okay, what do you need to know to actually be good? You have to actually to be able to deliver these skills or at whatever level. So when you now find those things out, you gotta learn them. So after you've learned them, the next thing you now do is to now build your portfolio, because you are new to this thing. You are new to Web3, right? You don't know. You've never worked for anybody. You've never worked for anybody in Web3. You're very new to the job space. So the first thing you now need, you don't even need a resume at this point, a CV. Because next thing is people say, help me write my CV, you tell me how to write my CV. You don't necessarily even need a CV at this point. What you now need to do is for a couple of persons to approve what you have learned. So you start building portfolio. So let me start with writer. As a writer now, what should your portfolio look like? Your portfolio should look like articles. Now you have to ask yourself, what kind of writer do you want to be? There are different kind of writers that are relevant in this space. We have content marketers, we have copywriters, we have, the actual content writing. Now, content writing has to do with articles, writing SEO optimized articles. He's asking you, what does SEO means? How to write an SEO optimized article in this space and stuff. So that means as a content writer, you have to create as many articles as possible around Web3. Because one thing about the skill is the more you use it, the more you get better at it. And don't just keep it and keep it to yourself. Like I said, we are in the era of social proof. So when you write that content, now on LinkedIn, you can publish an article on LinkedIn. If you use the web version, the web version of LinkedIn, you can publish articles. So you can publish your articles on LinkedIn. You can even start a newsletter on LinkedIn, so where you share your articles there. So that's your public proof. Now, what is the importance of publishing your whatever you do online? Every day, people go to search. People use the search button of platforms to type, to type your skill. Someone will come and type writer, Web3 writer. Will your name come out when they type Web3 writer? This also comes into LinkedIn optimization, Twitter optimization. I have videos on my YouTube channel that explained all of these things. I have videos there. So if you go to my DM, I'll just send you the link to how to optimize your LinkedIn handle, to bring opportunities to you. So so as a writer now, how do you even know what to write about? Just simply Google topics. How do you know what topics are trending? Who are you following on Twitter? Who are you following on LinkedIn? Now, every single day on LinkedIn and on Twitter, different topics are. So don't just follow anybody. I tell people that your social media can be a very good learning ground and also a very bad learning ground. Don't be among those people who are just learning the negative trends that happen on social media. Let social media be a learning ground for you. Like, for every time I'm on Twitter, I don't follow rubbish people. I don't. I just, not like they're rubbish. I'm not calling them rubbish per se. I mean, whatever they are doing is not of interest to me. If it's not of interest to me, I won't follow you. And if by chance your content that I have no interest in shows up in my timeline, I mute. There's a mute button. I mute it so it doesn't cloud up the valuable things that I need to see. So people you follow. So now that you're a writer, the people that you're following on social media hand also matters. It means that you should follow people in the same line who are already ahead. And then follow projects. That's when you start seeing what are the trends in Web3 right now. You can Google it. You can simply follow people on social media, on Twitter, for example. Specifically, Twitter is a hub of the Web3. Like, that's where the conversations are happening. It's also happening on LinkedIn too, right? So that's where you can find out topic. When you see a topic, then you now go to your Google and sit down and start writing about it. So the more you write, the more you build a portfolio. And if you have maybe up to like 5 articles ready, 5 articles, 5 Twitter threads, start writing about projects. Pick a project, analyze them, and post the thread on Twitter. That is how you build your portfolio. And then you can use platforms like Medium. If you're in Web3, it's good to start using Web3 focused tools. For example, the medium of Web3 is Miro.xyz. Miro.xyz is the medium of Web3. So use Medium to publish your articles. So this is why all of you here need to sign up. I'm going to drop at the end of this live, I'll drop a link to our Web3 Value Demi series. It's a series of free classes to teach you how to use basic Web3 tools. Because if you're in the Web3 space, you have to learn how to create a wallet now. You have to learn how to receive money. If someone sends you crypto, you have to know how to receive it. So many people have not learned these things. You have to know how to interact with these platforms. So it's a basic teaching. And then if you're looking to get involved in the tech, the coding part, the web development part of Web3, the Web3 Value Demi is also for you too. I'm dropping a link, and then you can get involved and fill the form, join our communities, and get ready. I'm going to be doing all this thing like series, doing videos and all of those things. Creating content can be work, but it's worth it. As long as somebody benefits from all these things I'm sharing, for all these things I'm teaching, it's worth it. So this also applies to, like Samura said, community manager. As a community manager now, how do you build a portfolio? Now, let me give you another tip about for all these skills you listed. Graphic design, WordPress designer, those skills you listed. One of the ways that people build portfolio in this space is through, if you are new to the job roles, look out for ambassador programs. I'm going to compile some ambassador programs and share in our WhatsApp community. Look out for ambassador programs, look out for internship programs. These are another opportunity for you to actually actively be a part of a community and actively learn on the job. One thing about ambassador programs is that you're learning on the job. You have opportunity to write for the project. You write for the project. You manage committee for the project. You moderate for the project, and you have access to the team of that project. You can ask questions during meetings, sessions, things that are not clear. So you're learning from those people directly, and you're practical about it, because as soon as you are done, you need to publish articles, you need to write Twitter content, you need to, so look out for ambassador programs. There are always ambassador programs coming out. And don't see it from money point of view at this point. See it from you are building your portfolio. And remember, another part of building portfolio is track, like I said earlier, if somebody compliments you for a job well done, take a screenshot, right? Because sometimes this comes in like text. Oh, wow, well done. This was amazing. Take a screenshot and take note of that thing. Keep a work journal. Keep a work journal, a learning journal, where you track what worked for you, what didn't work for you, why didn't it work. These things are important, because when there's a method I teach in my 45 days challenge that called the DM the code DM hack, because these are the things that you say, I was able to do this for that person, and the person goes to so result. You can't keep track of all these results in your head. You need a work journal. Trust me, I tried to remember something I did recently and I couldn't remember it because I don't write it down. Writing things down helps your memory faster than trying to remember it. Or you have to just flip a few pages and then you remember it. Please and please learn to be diligent. Learn to be diligent at what you do. Learn to get better. If you do something this week, next week, let's be better at it. I know it can be frustrating sometimes. I know it can be discouraging sometimes, especially when you're trying so hard and you're not seeing the result. I know it can be that way, but I'm telling you that do not relent, because you are on the right track and it will pay off. It will pay off. Make sure you make yourself visible. Be visible. I know you will say, so you know somebody that is not on Twitter or LinkedIn and the person is doing well. Is that person, like I said, you don't know other things the person is doing to increase the person's opportunities. The person probably has a very strong network, probably is part of a very strong community, but the person is definitely not in silo. The person is definitely not building alone. So do not build alone. Do not try and build your skill alone. Look out for community of people that have the same skills as you. Look out for there's so many, like there's what we call in crypto space DAO. There are different DAO. DAOs are decentralized communities. Look out for all this. And there's one that has surfaced recently. Super Team. Check out Super Team. Super Team, if you go to Twitter now, type Super Team DAO, you will see they have lots of bounties. Bounties is another way. So with Super Team, you can also build your portfolio, because every week there's an opportunity for you to win a bounty. So what exactly is a bounty? A bounty is somebody brings out maybe like $200 now, and the person wants an article written. I'm telling you now this thing because that's worked for me 2 different times, 2 different platforms, 2 different communities. It has worked for me. Bounties. So what is bounty? Let's say, for example, now, as the founder of Valley Corp now, and I have a bounty platform, or I go to Super Team, for example, and I want an article written, and I want to, reward the best writer. So what I will do is I'll go to Super Team now and I publish a bounty, or I go to the work.xyz. These are two bounty platforms that you can check out, and I go to the work.xyz now, for example, and I publish a bounty that I want a writer to write on a particular topic. So when they are done writing, I just speak like on Super Team DAO now, for example. If you go to n.superteam.phone, you see I'm talking about it because it's a free alpha. It's what we call alpha in the crypto space. So if you go to n.superteam.phone now, there are so many bounties for you to participate in. So now, one scenario, maybe you will not win the bounty. Usually, maybe someone puts $1,000 and puts a topic for people to write on. First position will earn $500. Second position will earn $300. $300, and then last question will earn $200. This is an example now. So they'll go through it and take their best three. But if you don't win, at least you have one article. And when you publish, there's a part of your profile called proof of work, and a part of the community called proof of work. Now, trust me, they did not pay me to do this adverts. I'm just telling you that people, and then they have a Nigerian community too. People are actually people are actually benefiting from this thing right now. People are benefiting from these bounties and earning. Both in there right now, they even have a hackathon going on, competition for people that can code and all of those things. And these are things that go on in the Web3 space. Don't count yourself out. Okay, so for Salau, how long does it take? Seriously, it's the length of time is on you. It depends on you. If you write one article every 3 days, if you write one article every 3 days, in 1 month, how many would you have? Now, depending on the skill, building a portfolio depends on the skill. The length of time it will take you to build a professional portfolio, as I said, depending on the skill. For writing, you don't need a lot of articles to actually show what you can do with your skill, right? Now, if you're in the tech side, the coding side, you need to show maybe by coding something that is workable, that works, right? Then for a community manager, you need to find a project. And so you don't really need a lot of time per se. Give yourself 3 months of consistency. 3 months. You won't be recognizable. Now, so like I said, some skills need longer time, especially tech skills. Why non-tech skills doesn't require so much time? It's just a matter of, this is what I can do. This is what I have done. This is how I can use it to help you. Like I always tell, if you can answer these 3 questions, then you are good to go. This is what I can do. What can you do? What have you done? And how can you use that thing that you can do to help the next project get their results? Then you are ready with your portfolio. I don't know if that answered your question, Salau. Salau, did I answer your question? So we're going to continue next week. If you found value this evening, just make sure you don't miss 8 p.m. Wednesdays live session. You can send me questions ahead of time that I want me to talk about on these sessions, right? And like I said, I'm going to drop a link to our Web3 Academy, and do well to apply for them. It's going to be a series of educational series that's going to break down all these terminologies in Web3, get you using actual Web3 tools, how to use them and get involved with them. And then if you're interested in coding, interested in being part of the tech side of Web3, do well to also apply to our Web3 Academy, right? Maybe I'm going to add a session to that form to to differentiate the path that you want to go into. But regardless, I look forward to seeing you again next week, same time, same channel. And if you have questions, drop it. You can drop it beneath this video. So if you have questions, I will address them in the next live session. Invite your friends. This is free right now. This is me giving free value right now. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite your foe, invite everybody for this another hour of value. So thank you very much for being with me this evening. I think I addressed some of your questions. Any question I didn't address this evening, I'm going to address it next week, Wednesday, by 8 p.m. So thank you very much. This is still Valley Corp Global, where we have a value first mindset, and we are supercharging you to access global financial opportunities in the Web3 space. So see you next week. Thank you very much. I'm happy you got value, Salau. I'm happy you got value, Odunayo. I'm happy that all of you really, really got value. Thank you very much. It means I did something good this night. See you next week.